4 of the Yoga January Challenge. Today is going to be a leg day focused practice. So it's going to be a little bit different than the average vinyasa. We're going to be focusing on all of the wonderful muscles in the legs. Now don't forget to like and comment on this video. I'm going to leave a little description in the box below of what exactly you need to comment on this video to be a part of the challenge at the end to win. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to do those things, and I hope you like it. Starting in an all fours pose, go ahead and step your right foot up to the outside edge of the right hand. We're going to start to get into a low lunge as you sink the hips forward and down. And I want you to just pace back and forth a little bit, dipping the hips and then coming back into a more comfortable stance. Just kind of getting a little bit more familiar with the hips here and how you're feeling on this side. If you're able to, you can bring the forearms down to the ground. However, if that is not available, you can stay up on the hands. Let's go ahead and place the right hand on the right knee and then open up past that right shoulder. We're going to do the same thing, kind of dipping up and down, getting as deep as you can into the pose for a second and then letting up. Allow yourself to be fluid here, softly unwinding, placing both hands on the ground, step the right knee back to all fours. Go ahead and take your turn on the left side. First, just put the hips forward and down a couple times. Checking in with this side, how this side of the body feels, this left leg in comparison to the right. Now, if you have a deeper variation, at this time you could walk the forearms down. If you'd like to take the variation where the right hand comes to the left foot, you can do that now. Wherever you are, bring the left hand to the left thigh as you open up, looking past that left shoulder. Start to bob up and down, sink the hips, look up the shoulder, then release. Getting low in the pose and opening up, just kind of doing it at your own pace. You can watch my pace, for example, but I want this video to be about you, so just do as many reps as you need. Go ahead and place the hands back on the earth, sit the kneecap back down. Curl the toes underneath, hips go up to the sky for downward facing dog. Start to pedal out the heels, get as comfy here into the legs as you can. Keep pushing the torso actively towards the thighs so the hips keep lifting up, making it a little more active. Inhale, take a leg lift on your right side. Go ahead and bend in the knee, let the foot fall over to the opposite side of the room. Then on your exhale, pull the knee into the chest, foot comes in between the hands, low lunge. Inhale, lift the hands to heart center. We're going to take some bends in the knees here. So on your exhale, drop the left knee down to the earth. Inhale, straighten. I'm going to do about 10 of these or so, but like I said before, I am just an example here. You can do more than I am, you can do less than I am. Go ahead and do about one more of these, and then when you lift up, you're going to push into that left ball of the foot, pivoting into your warrior 3 with the right leg on the ground. Keep as still as you can, then rebend in that right knee, drop back down into your lunge. Inhale, push into the left foot, lift up, warrior 3. When your exhale comes, get your balance first. When your exhale comes, bend into the right knee, drop back down. So just like before, I'm going to try to do about 10 or so of these, but do as many as you would like. Keep focusing on the breath. Let an inhale push you off of that back foot. Get your balance first. Then when your exhale comes, bend in the front knee, drop it down. Now the next time you lift up into warrior 3, go ahead and place the left foot on the inner right thigh, coming into a tree pose. Getting the balance first, which is a little tricky for me on this side. Bring the hands to heart center. Then we're going to do some calf raises. So lifting onto the ball of the feet, rising the heel. Just like before, just do as many as you can. I don't care so much about the counting as I do that you're feeling this pose. Each time you inhale and lift up, you're pushing into the ball of that right foot. You're feeling the right calf muscle get just a little bit stronger. Softly setting the left foot back to a low lunge. Hands come to the ground. Step the right foot back to a downward facing dog. Let's prepare to do the other side. Inhale as you lift the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, let the foot fall over to the right. Open up in the hip. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull the foot all the way through to low lunge. Inhale, lift the arms up. Hands come to heart center. Exhale as you bend in the right knee. Inhale, straighten it. So these are short little breaths. Remember to keep the breath strong. As you focus on that through these dips in the knees. Doing a few more, staying strong. And pushing off of that right foot, pivoting into warrior three on your left side. Take your time with the balance, dropping back down to a lunge whenever you're ready. Remember, take this at your own pace. Just focus on the breath. Inhale as you push off of the foot. Exhale as you lower back into the low lunge. Try to see if you can find one still spot in the room and focus on it. That might help you with the balance a little bit if that's what you are struggling with here. Also remind yourself that one side of the body is always going to be more flexible than the other. So allow yourself just to grow as much as you can on this side. Go ahead and do about one more. When you're ready, you're going to freeze in warrior three. Then standing upright, go ahead and bring the right foot into your tree pose here on the left side. Adjust your stance, become as still as you can, then you're going to go ahead and begin in those calf raises. Focusing back on the gaze if you need some help with the balance, as this can be a little tricky. Also, if you're just really struggling with keeping your balance on these calf raises, you can always move up against a wall so that you have a little something to help you balance, because that can always help out a lot if needed. Go ahead and drop the right foot back to a lunge, hands placed on the ground, step the left foot back to a downward facing dog. Walk or hop the feet to the outside edges of the hands for Malasana, low squat. This is going to be our resting point. If you want to make it more active, you can take this as a low squat, a little bit more engaged if you want, or you can take it as a little bit more relaxed pose as I am doing here, because while my legs need a break, if you're in the same spot, hang out here with me. If you want to challenge those muscles a wee bit more, go ahead and pop into a lower squat. Come back to your breath, set the hands on the earth, hopping or walking the legs back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, leg lift on the right side. Exhale, pull the foot in between the hands, low lunge. Go ahead and lower down the left heel to the earth, lift the arms out to a T, warrior two. Then straightening off in the front right leg, you're going to take a bend in the left knee, coming into Skandasana, low side lunge. Softly shifting back to warrior two. So you're going to flow through these two poses. Hands come to heart center, lowering to the back of the mat. Then hands expand out to a T for warrior two. Try to keep your stance low as you softly glide from that low lunge back into warrior two. Now, of course, if you can't get as deep into this Skandasana as I am here, that's fine. Just kind of shift the hips a little back and forth, bending in that left knee as deep as you can for this low side lunge. Doing a couple more, staying strong through the legs. I know that they're probably talking to you at this point, but just see if you can push a little bit more. Dropping the hands to frame the right foot, step the right leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, leg lift on the left side, pull it through to a low lunge. Right heel spins down, arms lift up, warrior two. Just like on the other side, bring the hands to heart center, drop in your opposite leg, drop the hips down, Skandasana. Inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Exhale, drop it down. So think about the lungs emptying as you sink the hips, the lungs filling up as you stand up tall. So use your breath as strength, just like you've been doing this whole time. See if you can do a couple more with the strength of the breath. See if you can continue to have that low stance within the legs. When you finish your next one, go ahead and square the torso towards the front, lift the right heel, cartwheel the arms down, step the left leg back, downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, hopping or walking back to Malasana, low squat, your resting moment. Remember, make this more active if you want, or hang out here in a lower, easier variation. Come back to your breath. Allow the legs to recover from any lost strength. And in a moment here, we're going to drop down to the hips, however you need to get there. Keeping the knees bent, go ahead and relax down to the spine, so the back comes down to the earth. Hands are down by the sides of the body. Take an inhale, fill your lungs. Exhale as you straighten the right leg up to the sky and push into the left ball of the foot for a one-legged bridge. Go ahead and do that again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop down. Your inhale, you're going to sit yourself up, lifting the hips, threading that right leg all the way up to a standing splits pose. Then softly bringing that right leg back down, threading it towards the front of the room. Bend in the left knee, come into a modified pistol squat. Then releasing the spine back down to your one-legged bridge. So we're gonna flow through those. Give yourself some momentum to come up to a seat. Lift the hips, then thread that right leg all the way up to the sky for standing split. See if you can squeeze through those right glutes. Exhale as you then allow that right leg to fall, threading it in between the two hands, kicking the foot out in front. Hips sink down, pistol squat. Releasing the torso down, lift through that left foot for bridge pose. Do this a couple more times, your own breath, your own pace. Make it a little faster if you need a challenge. Make it a little bit more slow if you need to focus more on these 3 specific poses. In standing splits, allow yourself to round in the back, pull yourself towards that left thigh. In bridge pose, make sure you're squeezing through that left glute to stick yourself up nice and high. Taking this at your own pace. As I mentioned before, it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be fast. Remember, it's your practice. Just keep reminding yourself of the strength that you have in those legs. Bringing the knees into chest when you're done on this side, allowing yourself to recover here for a few moments, and giving that right leg a break as we start to think about how we're going to transition to the other side. You feel that you're ready, go ahead and set the feet back on the earth, hands relaxed down at the sides. Inhale, lift the left leg up. You're going to push into the right foot, squeeze through the right glute for bridge. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop it down. When you're ready to begin that sequence, start with that one-legged bridge. Lift yourself up into a seat. Thread that left leg all the way up nice and high for standing splits. When you're ready to drop it down, thread the left leg through the hands, sink in the hips. Modified pistol squat. Now, of course, if you're looking to advance this, you can try to sink into the pistol without the use of the hands. However, my pistol squat just isn't quite there because I find these almost impossible, but if you are there, you are more than welcome, my friend, to try it without hands. If pistol squats with hands are still like impossible, 1, I feel you, but 2, just modify it as much as you need to. If you can't get into that full pistol, that's fine. Just think about extending the left foot forward as much as you can, even if it's just an inch or so. Allow yourself to keep focusing on the breath. Be proud of yourself in this moment for all the strength within the legs. I'm going to do about 1 more here, and then we're going to relax down. If you want to join me here for this last one, allow yourself to get as high into the standing splits as you can. And allow yourself to get as low into that pistol squat as you can. Finally, relax down on the back. Lift up for one last squeeze at the right glute. Let's go ahead and bring the thighs into the torso for happy baby, grabbing onto the outside edges of the feet. You keep a deep bend in those knees, allowing yourself to stretch through the hamstrings and the glutes that we just worked so hard. Go ahead and straighten the legs, bringing the hands to the hamstrings for a legs up a wall pose. Taking turns pointing and flexing in the feet, maybe rolling in the ankles, just kind of giving yourself some time to recover. Bending the knees, drawing them back into the chest. Allow yourself to rock front and back, getting some momentum to bring yourself back into Malasana, back into that low squat. So see if you can set the feet on the ground and kind of shimmy yourself back up into that low squat position. Now from here, we're going to add some movement onto this pose. On an inhale, go ahead and stand up. Shift the weight into just one foot. So take a bend in your right knee, coming into a twist. So reach your right arm back, place the left hand on the right knee. If you'd like to advance this, you can slide the left hand down to the foot and straighten out the leg. However, my hamstrings have had a lot today, so that's not happening on me. When you're ready, slowly come back down to Malasana. Then an inhale stands you up. So we're just going to flow through these 2 poses. Exhale as you sink back down, hands drop back down to heart center. Inhale as you stand up, taking that twist, reaching with the right arm back, bending in the right knee. Just like we've done before, I'm going to aim for 10 of these. You're more than welcome to count if you would like, or just do as many as you can on this leg. Of course, balance can definitely be tricky here. As you see, I lose my balance quite often, but that's okay. The idea is just to be pushing through that left glute as well as the quads to push yourself up to get enough energy to stand all the way up and then take that twist. So I'm slowly starting to transition onto that other side. Go ahead and make your way to your left leg whenever you want. So this time the difference is when you're inhaling and standing up, this time the right foot is going to get some more strength. Left leg is going to lift up as the left arm reaches back. Remember, hands come to heart center when you're done. Allow yourself to challenge the body. See if you can push off as much weight with that left leg as possible. Maybe the side's a little easier for you, maybe it's a little bit more challenging. That all just matters on the balance. Go ahead and do about one more. Come back to Malasana and get yourself back to a laying down position. Once there, knees stay bent, feet are on the ground. Go ahead and lift the hips up for bridge pose one last time, pushing the palms into the earth, or perhaps interlacing the hands beneath the body. To add on a little extra challenge here, see if you can extend one leg out towards the front of your room, keeping the leg straight, keeping the toes pointed so all the muscles here in this leg are working. See if you can kick a little harder through the opposite foot on the ground. Go ahead and trade out the legs if you've not already done so, to push through the opposite foot, getting a little bit more strength in the opposite glute. Releasing down, then slowly letting the hips come back down to the earth. When you are ready, releasing the spine back down to the mat. Pulling the knees into the chest, giving yourself some momentum one more time to rock front and back, eventually bringing yourself to a seated position, no matter how many times it takes you to get there. Once there, inhale, lift the arms up over the head. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you.